The gospel today tells us that very few people find the narrow door. And according to Jesus, the way to heaven is through the narrow door. And a lot of people wonder, why do few people find the narrow door? And I think it's because people are not patient enough, or people are not willing enough to make the effort to go and find the narrow door. And they have an expectation that uh, life with God is supposed to be grandiose. I mean, the bigger the person, the bigger things should be. Not realizing that for God to be able to enter our lives, we first have to empty ourselves. And it takes a lot of trust to be able to do that. Um, it takes a lot of faith in God to be able to let go of the things that we hold dear, or things that are precious for us. And some of you might ask, what does trust look like? In the first reading, we are told of how Abram, who later we know would be named as Abraham, Abram was very rich. He's not poor. He had a lot of riches. But when God asked him to move out, he trusted God. And what did trust look like for him? He was able to let go of his livelihood, because where his base was, he had to let go. Where his place of um, confidence and comfort was, he had to leave. And that is the trust that we need. That is the um, perseverance that we need. Because despite those hardships, Abraham persevered in going through the promised land. If we're looking for the narrow door, we have to trust that as grandiose or as easy uh, the, the 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 wide door is, that is not the way. Again, because the way is for us to empty ourselves so that God can come in. And that is beautiful. Think about it. Most of the time, we see a grand place and we want to enter it, and we find ways to to get the means to buy a ticket. We look for the key to that door. But in this, with God, it's the opposite. It is God is not asking us to look for something. God is not asking us to prove ourselves, but rather God is asking us to let go. So trust, I pray we all have perseverance, so that as we let go of ourselves, God may come in into our lives, and we will find the promised land in our hearts.